Hey y'all, welcome to the channel that brings you multi-dimensional content, which means that the readings are from a broad and expanded point of view and that they're not for a specific time but should resonate with y'all whenever you come across them. So today we've got the archetype Mami Wata to help us navigate whatever's going on. Mostly what I discussed in the previous video where I said you guys are getting invited. So basically Mami Wata is here to help us just navigate that entire subject, right? For those of you that don't know, Mami Wata, Mama Samanzi, literally that is literally even the translation of her name, like mother of the water, bruh. It is an archetype that originates within the African culture. So yeah, look it up. Find what you find, resonate with what you resonate with. That's on you, right? I'm gonna go into the reading. So this isn't a reading about Mami Wata, but Mami Wata is basically just gonna help us navigate these energies and so forth, right? Through this reading or through this transmission. Okay, so there's just a couple of things that we're gonna talk about before I pull some cards pertaining to stuff that I said in the previous reading. So firstly, we're gonna talk about the entities that I spoke about, né? Those water spirits and you being invited and so forth. Okay, let's talk about why you would be invited, why these spirits would summon you. Oh shit, are we okay? Okay, they're like, fuck that. There's something else they want me to talk about. So, I didn't want to talk about this. But okay. So, niyabona lezi lezine, like, ezokuthi umuntu, let's say, unenyoka, right? Remember like last time? Right. So remember like in the last video we spoke about summoning and how the higher in frequency you go, you do not summon, you get summoned by these entities. So one of the things that they want me to talk about, or what Mami Wata would like me to relate to you, like umuntu nenyoka or something like that, like hey kumele ayinike something, whatever amaqeda imnike imali, like what, right? He says that, like, okay, they're saying those are high frequency entities that have like sort of like been captured. They're saying, Guti, that's like putting a genie inside a lamp. Like, a genie doesn't live inside that thing. Ooh. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, Aladdin, right? Y'all know about Aladdin and the genie? And how from that story, like, we figured genies are like in lamps. Yeah, genies don't live in lamps, guys. Like, genies don't live in enclosed areas. They were trapped there when Islam was introduced. Like, am I being offensive? Am I being weird? Like, no, that's the truth though. Like, even if you're Islam, you know that, right? You know that apparently Allah told the jinns to fuck off because they were perceived as negative spirits, which I mean is not a different story from Christianity and the archetypes that I mostly speak about on this channel. I should actually do a video for you guys on jinns. But jinns are literally these spirits. That's why they're coming up. Okay, guys, now I'm sorry. I feel like I have to apologize. I feel like I'm all over the place, but also it's kind of not my fault. It's like a lot of information just coming in. Like, firstly, I thought I was just speaking to Mami Wata, but now I've got like mountain and land entities. It's almost like they're saying it's not just water entities that are summoning people. We also summon us from the mountain, us from the desert. The desert. So if you have desert lineages, so like Arabic, lineages, even Islam, like if you have Islamic like connections and whatnot, then yeah. So though, like that, you also find entities that summon humans there also in order to work together, right, with them. We're gonna get into that just now. Why do you get summoned? But first, we just need to talk about this. So back to the beginning. Kutwa. Those people that do that. And also, if you do that and you're watching, I'm not judging you, bruh. Obviously, we don't care. We're just telling you. Like those things, these are trapped entities. Like somehow people and have been able to do that. And people have been doing that since the beginning of time. Have you guys seen on Netflix, The Sandman? The Sandman? That guy, humans trapped him, bruh, for like 100 years. Humans don't play. Humans will fuck you up. Like, so yeah. Yeah, and version. That's not true. These entities, okay, there's different type of entities, but that's not true. Those entities don't do that. That whole gazio, whatever thing about Hisayo, it's actually to keep the entity entrapped, to keep it like confused and dazed and kind of separated from its power so that the human can basically use its power to attract money towards him. Like, no one is saying these entities can't help you get money or whatever, but that's not the way to do it. How these people are doing it, how they're doing it, it's not right. Like, it's not right. It's entity cruelty. Like, showcase. It's like stealing someone. Like, like, basically. It's wrong. Like, yeah. In a land where there's wrong and right. But yeah, correct. The reason why they're telling you guys this is because some of you are getting summoned by entities that used to be trapped and you have to cleanse. Some of you are getting summoned by entities that became dark due to the fact that at some point, like they were trapped by certain humans. Like ige yasetshenziswa to do that. Like ige yadlikas, ige yadla angaz amavision, whatever. Like, so somewhere along the way that entity got free, but it hasn't been cleansed. Like Melushambul, basically, right? So some of you that are in this group that are getting summoned by entities, just know that you have to cleanse your entities, right? How do you cleanse your entities? That's personal reading stuff. No mungang email because it's different. There's no ways two people will be the same. It's completely different. Like, nah. So yeah, there's that, right? And then number 2, why would an entity summon you? An entity will summon you because it wants to co-create with you. It wants to work with you. The reason why this sometimes comes across as like some kind of a romantic or a sexual thing is, number 1, because the first place you feel it is in your sexual like realm, within your sexual space, right? Because of level of pureness, because of the level of authenticity, because of the level of power, if I'm going to be honest, that's why you feel it sexually. That's it. So the reason why it will feel romantic or that type of thing is because of the whole, you guys are going to create together, right? And in this world, when you create with someone, like using sexual energy, it's normally because, y'all are about to create a child, y'all are doing the things. So that's why it will sometimes feel like that, but it ain't like that. Like, it's not like that. It's really not like that. The reason why you would get summoned by an entity is because you match, because you have the depth that this entity requires in order for you guys to do the things. And you match because you need whatever power this entity has in order to get to wherever you're needing to go. And this entity needs something that you have. in order to get to where it wants to go. So that's another reason why this whole thing, like, it's fucked up, because when you work with an entity, it's reciprocity. Like, no, user omunye. Like, you feed each other type of thing. That's why it's like the whole co-creation part is really like emphasized. It's a co-creation. It's gonna, this entity is gonna grow you, right? Water you, expand you, so that you're able to receive communication in terms of your life. That could be ideas about how to make money, ideas about how to monetize your talent. That could be messages about what your talent actually is, so that you can get going. That could be, it could be like whatever it is you want. And that's also how an entity picks you. When an entity comes to you, it already knows that it's got what you need and you've got what it needs. So again, that's also the problem with these entities, lesbian kumangazo before lenyogazin. Like, it's that it never even got to say what it wanted, bruh. Like, bapi zinje, bai chafangekazi, like, to shut it the fuck up. Like, yo, it's so wrong, bruh. Yo, like, for me, especially like someone who's close with entities, like, that actually sees entities the way I see you guys, that shit is so fucked up. Like, that shit is so fucked up, bruh. That shit is so messed up. And like, obviously, then you get these vengeful entities because of what happened to them, right? Oh, yeah, that's another thing. So you guys, laba eba hambana laba nama entities la abuse you, like, lento lengi kulmai. So if you suddenly have that kind of entity and you will sometimes feel feelings of like being violated, like sexually. Even whether you were or you weren't, it's possible you also do share that history with the entity, because that's how the entity sees what happened to it at that stage. That was like a fucking violation, bro. So if you have an entity that is courting you, that has gone through that, where it was kidnapped and trapped and made to do things it did not want to do, you might have gone through like sexual violations in your life. You might have that kind of like trauma. So healing that kind of trauma, your entity. So that's one of the things. Don't say I didn't tell you nothing. So yeah. Even if you didn't go through a sexual trauma, maybe like you'll notice that when you're watching shows and stuff, and then there's like sexual trauma about to happen, like you cannot take that shit. Even someone telling your story, like you just can't. You even sometimes wonder, like, oh, maybe I went through something and I've forgotten, like, what's going on, you know? The way also traumatized by like, yeah, sexual assaults. So, anything that I want to say is that these entities are not male and they're not female. They're not people. They're entities. There's a reason why I say that. It's void of like that kind of description. But it has not gone unnoticed that if you are male, a lot of the times you will get courted by feminine. Please notice how I didn't say female entities. Feminine. Because female and feminine are not the same. Female is sex. Feminine is gender. Gender is not like sex, guys. Look it up. I get tired of explaining things, but look it up. Gender has to do a lot with like the times, like where we are, when we are, circumstances. It's really not so much like sex, like male or female. Very different. But yeah, anyway, so I've noticed that if you are a man, you will probably attract feminine entities. If you're a woman, you are likely to attract masculine entities. If you are more comfortable with women and you are a woman, you will attract feminine entities. these entities know exactly who you are, like from a DNA blueprint type of thing. Whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you got, because they're not men or women. Do you understand? So they appear to you how you are comfortable with them. Do you get? Cool. What else? Right. I want to go back to why you would be summoned, because again, they want to you have common interests, bruh. Like, you want money, this entity can help you get money, and it wants something you have. Now, let's talk about that. What can be the price for an entity? How do I describe it? Because it's not what you guys think. You guys are like, you have to sacrifice your firstborn. Or like, I don't know, go kill your parents and your neighbors. No, guys, that's because these guys had trapped these entities. That's why these people have to kill people and like all that stuff. I'm not saying it's not real, like that you don't have to do that, but I'm telling you why. Because there's entities that you get. Yo. Yeah. You get those. I but I'm not teaching you about those right now, so we're not gonna talk about those, right? Because let me tell you, I talk about certain topics depending on the energy I can feel will consume this, right? So if I don't feel people that can summon something vele eligazi, then I won't talk about that at all, because this is not for TV. This is to actually help you guys, like, with your actual lives, like, and with your, like, this is practical, right? So if I don't feel any of you that have the link to summon something that elikazi vele and ifree, then I'm not gonna talk about that. Mina, what I can, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't exist. Yes, it's called nilwane ezilikazi. It's called nilwane vele ezifuna ukuthi ubulale umuntu omthandayo or whatever. But I don't feel any of you guys willing to do that. What I feel in you guys is entities that have been trapped, because ikhona nalento leyo. And if I'm gonna be very honest, not a lot of people can summon those entities. That actually, like, amadla bantu. Like, no, not a lot of people can. The people, what we're seeing in the world is people that are working with trapped entities, enslaved entities. And that's why it always ends badly. Always. Like, even the stories you don't hear about, it will end badly. Like, people end up being hurt, like, badly. People's bloodlines, lineages end up being fucked for like 100 generations in. It's lit. Like, uthole like gune family oyaziyo since noma ungabuza abokhokho bakho bazokutshela ukuthi I love it since bahlupheka, like since abakaze bakhona ukuphakama nibuza ukuthi why. Because maybe you fucked with the wrong entity prior, that shit got free. Woo wee. Okay, what else? So yeah, when I talk about stuff, it's not that I'm saying that other stuff doesn't exist. Phela angikhulumi tori. I'm just here. I'm talking to you guys about you. Okay, so if you don't have to hear that, you don't have to hear that. Let's get into some cards. Quick. Let me do some oracle for you guys. Oh, I keep wanting to talk about... Oh, I was going to talk about the payment. What's your payment? It's not that I can't talk about it, but I clearly can't talk about it because I can't really put it into words. If I did, you guys are not going to understand. It's going to seem stupid. So I can't put that into words. But there is a payment. There has to be a payment, guys. There has to be a payment. Oh, I'm like, they're advising me to tell you a story, and maybe you'll understand, like a personal story, and maybe you'll understand. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna tell you a story. So this one time, this was one of the first entities that I worked with. I didn't even understand the process at that time. The entity is actually well known, but so this entity comes through. Like I said, I didn't really understand like the process or how it works. If I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even understand what the fuck was going on, bro. Like, I would understand later. So this entity Ingboni say like a vision, I would say it was kind of like, where he takes my heart, like real heart, like pump pump, but it's obviously a symbol, as a symbol of like your heart, your emotions, the things you hold dear, the things you believe right now. I tell to you guys, I lahlele against the wall. So, okay, not my literal heart, obviously, but this is a vision now, right? Where this entity takes my heart, I lahlele. I bambe. Kube ngathi yamnyanyisa or something. I lahlele against the wall. It does that thing, right? And then I tope pants, I easy. Yeah, say right. Bese ayibeke on this scale thing. Ibalance vele escaling. So later he would tell me, Guti, okay, cool. You are asking for something, but I also have to get something if you're asking for something. So njengoba asha inhliziyo yami on the wall, it was a symbol of something he needs me to let go of. It's very weird, ne? Mina, as I let go of that thing, there's certain emotions that I'm gonna go through. To be honest, painful ones. Like, it's gonna hurt for me to let go of that thing. But it's okay, because whatever that is, it's not true. That's why that's why because I was holding on to something that wasn't true. And when he hit my heart against the wall, leyo to leyo, it like, yeah, suga. So it was just a symbol of like, something's about to go down in your life. Izosusa, something that like you don't need. That emotion that you feel, my suga lentele empilweni yakho, that's my payment. So yeah, it's something like that. I don't know if that makes sense, and I don't know if that's creepy, but that's kind of how it works. So yeah. That was like, I think, my first deal. Did I say deal? Oh no, I don't want to scare you guys. I don't want you to think I'm making deals with the devil. I think practical magic is kind of like weirder than people think. I think sometimes people just like stories of things that are happening, but practically, maybe it's a bit hard for people. So when you hear stories like this, it's like, holy shit, what is she saying? So yeah, but it's like that. What is it that an entity could possibly offer you? Like I said, anything. Knowledge, education, like about things that are not normally known. It can be whatever. You can say Funumuntu. I once told you about that guy. Remember my story? When I told you about that guy that summoned? Yeah, you can say whatever entities whatever all you need is to have the depth. And then le entity is a so it already knows that you have the depth and you have everything, because like I said, these are not entities we summon, because we do not summon, we get summoned. No. So yeah. I think that's everything. Yeah, this reading is not just brought by Mami Wata, it's brought on by like tons of spirits. Like I said, even the Djinns are here. Yeah, even the Djinns are here. Personally, yeah, I've worked with Djinns before, by the way. I'll tell you that. If you're from Islam and hearing me say I've worked with Djinns before, I know how you probably feel. It's kind of like in Christianity, me saying I've worked with demons before. So actually, maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe it's because like I'm not so close to the religion, so I thought it was okay for me to say that. But I am not trying to offend you. That's all I want you to know. And I'm not trying to scare you, and I'm also not trying to make you think I'm working with the devil. Like, that's not what I'm trying to do. Oh god. But yeah. So this again, honestly, is just talking to me again about basically what we spoke about the last reading. Bruh, these entities want to work with you guys. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, yeah, the process is complicated, guys. Aside, I know, even in this video, I know it's going to be a bit hard to understand, right? But like, let's discuss it, you guys. Don't be nervous. Go in the comments. Email me if you don't want anyone to see your comment. Like, let's discuss, because Oxalai, this shit is happening. There seems to be like an influx of entities that are contacting like people and wanting to work with them. And Mina Intengi Wanayula is a beautiful co-creation. I'm seeing playfulness, yo. Like, I'm seeing a lot of teachings. I'm seeing people being shocked at what you can ask an entity for. Like, make my skin glow, make my hair grow down to my freaking waist. Like, I don't know, like, make me a magician. um, fuck. I want children. I want money. I want a job. I want. I want sex appeal, right? I want, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You know, be careful and be mindful, because I just got reminded of, ooh, is it Midas? The Midas touch. Remember what happened to that guy? He loved gold so much, like Begatandi Mali so much, and then I don't know, Gucci, how this like happened as to what granted him his wishes, but he was granted Gucci, everything he touches turns to gold. But like, guys, like literally, so homies here touching his lover and his lover turned to gold. Like, I think he touched his daughter and his daughter turned to gold, and he was like, why? So just be careful. Like, entities naturally have a trickster energy about them. Hi nani mara, like, come on, fuck. So like, play. To be honest, I think sometimes, like, I went to, you're too cautious sometimes. Like, you're too scared sometimes. Um, you should be scared if you're playing with a enslaved entity. If you're playing with a trapped entity, you should be scared. But if you're playing with these guys, you don't need to be scared. My God, like, it's okay. Yeah. Ooh, like, it's okay. It's really okay. It'll be fine. In the end, it'll all be fine. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you guys. So yeah, I hope that resonated, and if it did, please like, subscribe, and comment. And if you want to book a personal reading, all the information is in the description box. Love you guys.